What's up, B Squad? It is your boy JB, and I am here with a review for Married to Medicine Season 9, Episode 9. The episode is titled The Breaking Point, you guys. So, before we just go ahead and jump into this review, if you guys are watching this video or any other on my channel and you guys are not subscribed to my channel, I made you guys to do me a solid favor and stop taking me out on this date and having me pay for it at the end of it. You guys know you can do me that favor by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, turning on your post notifications, and also by sharing the video. And with that out the way, you guys, without further ado, let's discuss Married to Medicine, shall we? Alright, you guys, so I want to say that this episode was pretty fillerish. Actually, it ain't no pretty fillerish, it was fillerish. So this review is going to be very short. So we see Dr. Heavenly, right? So Dr. Heavenly, she is going down to Dr. Damon's office. So Dr. Damon has a second practice that he's opened, and I gotta say congratulations to Dr. Damon for that. That is big, right? I love it when we see our black men and black women in business and doing it for themselves and owning their own businesses. You know, just I love it, right? I love it. I love it. Now, you know, it doesn't beg the question, right? What happens if their kids don't go to medical school? Who does that business then go to? Because you want to keep it with us, not with them. So that's just something that I wondered, like with him, Dr. Jackie, Dr. Heavenly, with all the doctors, right? I wonder that with all the doctors, and I think that's one thing that the other Married to Medicines that they've had on Bravo, I think that's one reason why those franchises like Houston and LA, well, the Houston franchise wasn't successful because they put it on a Friday night, and Bravo never promoted Married to Medicine Houston. Because I actually watched Married to Medicine Houston that first season, that only season. I liked it. Could it have been better? Yes, it could have been better, but I enjoyed Married to Medicine Houston. I enjoyed Married to Medicine Los Angeles. I think, well, actually, with Married to Medicine Houston, Dr. Asandra, she had her own practice. I think Dr. Asandra had, I think some of the women on Married to Medicine Houston had their own practice. But I know with Married to Medicine LA, those women did not have their own practices and they worked for other people. So they didn't have the liberty to do the things that the Atlanta women can do. You know, the Atlanta women work for themselves. So they can get into the arguments, and they can get into the arguments and do whatever with one another, because they own their own business, so they are their own boss. They don't answer to anyone else. With LA, those women have bosses that they were like, ugh, yeah, we can do this show, but you ain't finna see me act a fool. And my boss be like, oh, so you want to be a reality star now? You want to do all this kind of dumb stuff? Well, guess what? You won't be working at this hospital anymore. So I think that was the thing that hurt LA. I think if they had found, you know, like doctors who, like plastic surgeons who have their own practices, any kind of doctor that had their own practice in LA, that would have worked. Now I know that they were supposed to do a Married to Medicine DC. I wonder whatever happened to that one. I wonder whatever happened to that. So Dr. Heavenly asked Dr. Damon, what does he think about what happened at Simone and Cecil's dinner, right? Well, you know what, buddy? I didn't really enjoy it, but you know, I didn't mean to get as upset as I did with you, buddy. You know, it's so interesting the fact that he calls her buddy. I always find it interesting. He calls her buddy. I'm like, that's a pet nickname for you? But he calls y'all kids buddy. So, is it buddy number 1 or buddy number 2? Like, I know I saw somebody on Twitter last week that was like, they just really don't like, they think it's degrading that he calls her buddy. I don't agree with that. I just kind of find it odd that you call your wife buddy and your kids buddy. Like, you can't come up with honey, boo boo, boo, bae, bun bun, anything, right? But buddy. But you know, she's been buddy for as long as they've been together. So she's cool with buddy. I'm cool with it too. I just be like, wow. That would be like if I call my dog, if I had a dog, and I call my dog, you know, Stink, right? I call my dog Stink, and I call my significant other this thing, and they be like, so you gonna call me the same thing you call a goddamn dog? I'm just saying, it ain't got nothing to do with me. So then we see Dr. Contessa and Dr. Scott. So they're at their practice, right? And, they're talking about this as well, right? So Dr. Scott feels like anytime that Heavenly and Contessa get together, that it's round one, ding, ding, ding. Round two, ding, ding, ding. Round three, ding, ding, ding. And honestly, he's correct. It does seem like it's a round one and a round two when it comes to Dr. Contessa and Dr. Heavenly. Every time that they get together. So yeah, Dr. Contessa, she like, at this point she wants to put everything to the side because of what Heavenly is going through with her mom. So she's gonna send up a lot of prayers for her. And, she says she's over it. She's over it. I don't know if they necessarily over it. I don't know if they're over it because did you guys see last week when they were going at it with each other? Now, Dr. Contessa, not Dr. Contessa, Dr. Heavenly, why did you have to mention her kids? Like Dr. Heavenly, and that'd be my thing with Heavenly. Heavenly will say things, then she'll apologize for what she said, and that's just what always bothers me with Heavenly. She says things, and then she comes back and she's like, you know what? I shouldn't have said that, and it's just like, oh, I just be like, really, Heavenly, really? Okay, let's pause here, you guys, and move forward. All right, you guys. So next up, we got a scene with Audra, and it was a full scene with Audra, and I was like, cool. We're getting to know a little bit. Actually, we really don't know much about Audra the more I think about it. We know that I think now. You guys can correct me if I'm wrong. Oh yeah, she is an attorney. She's an attorney, right? I think she's a closing attorney. Like when it comes to homes, I think that's what it is. Audra is an attorney, and Martin is a dentist. Correct? Correct me if I'm wrong. I think I'm right. So we see them. They are planning their wedding. Now they're already married to one another. They earlier in the year they went down to the courthouse and they got married. So now they're going to be having their wedding, right? I think her family's from Ghana, so she's gonna infuse some of Ghana with her wedding. And when they were talking about their budget for that wedding, and they said that they have a remaining balance of $40,000. I was like, girl, how much have y'all spent already? If you only got 40,000, like this wedding, I'm like, damn, this sounds like it's $100,000 to a $200,000 wedding. I just don't want to get. Just take me to the courthouse and let's get married. That's fine with me. We ain't got to do nothing over the top. I don't want that. So after that, we see Anila. So Anila, she's with her mother, and they are going to be looking at this space that Anila's got, because Anila is going to be opening up a showroom where she's going to be selling hair. I was like, okay, cool. Now, Anila's mom at this point has been staying with them for the last week, and it doesn't look like her mother is following any of Kieran's rules, because that house is a mess. We're going to talk about how I feel about Anila's mom later in the episode. But yeah, they're going to go look at this this showroom, right? Now, my thing with Anila is, when she talks about her kids, right? Because, she's talking about, oh, I had to do all this blogging and stuff. I'm not going to speak on her blogging because I don't follow Anila, so I can't say what she does and what she doesn't do. So I'm not going to speak on her blogging. But what I will say is your kids are in school from 8 to 3 or 4 o'clock in the afternoon. So you got a full 8 hours where you can do your blogging. And then when your kids get home, that time can be dedicated to your kids. So I just don't understand. I don't understand Anila, because women have done it for years. So it's not like it's something new under the sun. But hey, it is what it is, right? So like I said, she's opening up this showroom where people can come in and buy 100% raw Indian hair, right? Okay, she talked about after she had her kids, she lost her hair. So when she lost her hair, she started putting extensions in, right? She started putting hair in. And I will say, some of Anila's looks, some of her hair, I like it. There's this one interview look that I don't like. It's the one where she got that that pink on where it's like it's it's full over here, but it's kind of like it's just a bra cup right here, and then that hair. That is the only hair that I don't like in the Needles Confessionals. And that one hair that nope, it's that one. I don't like that hair, and it's that hair that she has, that little short bob that she has when she's in her interview with Kieran. I hate that one as well. So I hope you ain't putting that kind of hair in there. Now the other looks cool. So they go there, and her mom, she was looking at the tile. How much does this cost? How do you clean this? I'm like, are you paying for it? Are you gonna work here? If not, please be quiet. Like I would tell my mama that in a heartbeat. Be like, girl, if you ain't paying for this, if you ain't cleaning up this stuff, don't worry about how you clean it. Don't worry about how much it costs. You just sit here and say, oh, I like this, I like that, and that's all you gotta say. Nothing else, nothing more. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. So you guys, next up we see Dr. Jackie, and it really wasn't much with Dr. Jackie. Dr. Jackie is going to be doing an exam on a woman that she met at a podcast that she did recently, right? And I think both of the women were lesbians, and one of them hadn't been to an OBGYN in about 14 years. I was like, girl, what? You hadn't been to the OBGYN in 14? Yeah. Now, I will be honest with you guys, I'm not one to go to I don't like going to the doctor, right? But I will go and get a physical, I will go get a physical, but, I got to be really, really sick. And I got to be like, yeah, I can't fight this anymore. So we're going to go to the doctor. Other than that, I'm not one of these people who go to I don't like the doctor's office. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like it. So yeah, she did the exam on a woman, and cool. So then we see that Dr. Kieran has set up something for him and the guys. So he got food for them. They can get some manicures. They can get back massages. They can get hand massages. They can do what, they can get injectables. I wouldn't do an injectable because I don't like needles. That is the only reason why I wouldn't. But I really would like to do something with my forehead just so I could relax it. Just to relax my forehead just a little bit, but it ain't that big of a deal. They played a little joke on Martin. So Curtis was rubbing his back at one point, and then Kieran came over and rubbed his back. Also, while they were there, Dr. Eugene and Dr. Damon were talking, right? And they were talking about, Damon not working in ER anymore and having his own practice. And Eugene is just, Eugene is not as in love with ER medicine as he once was. And that's gonna be how we wrap up this episode review. So let's pause here, you guys, and let's move forward. So you guys, Toya is seeing a spiritual advisor, and this is somebody that she's been seeing for the last 6 months, right? So then we see Eugene. So Eugene went down to Dr. Damon's office, and he's talking to Dr. Damon about how much, he doesn't think he can do ER medicine much longer, right? So I was listening to Eugene and I was listening to Toya, right? Because Toya was talking about how her boys came to her and told her she wasn't as happy, right? And she didn't see it. And I don't want to put any blame on Toya. That's not what I'm here to do. But I do want Toya to take a look at herself. I just want Toya to take a deep look inside, right? Because she's talking about what she's not getting from Eugene. And I understand what she's saying. She feels like she's missing things from Eugene, and that's fine. I get that. Because she was talking about the pandemic. But I do want to say to Toya. Now, I still don't know what Toya does outside of marriage and medicine, and that's not my business. But what we do know from this show is that Eugene works he works long ass hours, and the man is tired by the time he comes home. So the man doesn't have a lot of energy to devote to you and to the kids. I feel like Toya should. I don't want to, because it comes. It just. This is why people say what they say about them when it comes to the houses, right? Because it feels like Eugene works himself to the bone. So because you guys move almost every season, and this man is exhausting himself, right? I'm trying to figure out the nicest thing, because I don't want to blame Toya. I don't want to blame Toya. But tell your husband to work a little less hours. Say it's okay to work less hours. We are in a good space. I guess they are. I don't know. But girl, you could get more from your husband if your husband worked less hours than what he currently does. That's the one thing that I want to say. You can get more from Eugene if he worked less hours. And then you guys, the end of the episode is Anila and her mom, right? So that house, baby, my mom would have to go, especially if I gave her some rules. And the fact that Anila's mom's like, I'm older than you and I'm your mother and I don't want to follow your rules. Well, mama, if you don't want to follow my rules, there's the door. Like, I know I asked you to come here to help me with the kids, but this is my house. My house, like you used to say when I was a kid, your house and your rules. My house, my rules. Respect what I say. Like, don't come in here and be disrespectful of my home. Like, I get that you're my mother, but don't be disrespectful of my home. Don't be disrespectful of my husband. Because her mom was like, she needs to teach her kids how to do this and do that. I will give her mother that aspect. You can teach your kids how to clean up after themselves. They are old enough to know how to do that stuff, right? But ma'am, I'm not gonna sit here and judge her, because I told you guys before, I'm not one of those people that while I'm cooking, I'm cleaning my things up, my dishes up. That is not me. I will wait until after I finish cooking to clean up my dishes. That is how I operate. I don't clean while I'm cooking. I don't know why. It just ain't something that I can do, because my brain is one track. Actually, that's why my brain is one track. So I have to focus on my food, because if I'm washing these dishes, I'm going to forget my food and I'm going to burn my food. That's why I can't do it. People always say, you guys, we can multitask. We as humans cannot multitask. I want people to know we don't have the ability to multitask. You can only focus on one thing at a time. So that's why I prefer to, cook my food first, and then I'll go back and wash my dishes off, and then put them in a dishwasher, and after that, then I'll wash everything again. But other than that, I'm not one of those people who can just clean and cook at the same time. Not for me. So yeah, Anila got to put her foot down with her mama. But let me know what you guys thought about this episode. Like I said, it was a filler episode. Nothing happened. I don't think anything's going to happen until next week's episode. But let me know what you guys thought about it. Leave your comments down in the comments below. Subscribe to the channel. Turn on your post notifications, guys. Share the video. And until the next time, stay safe. Take care of yourselves, you guys. Wash your hands. Wear a mask. Socially distance. Be blessed. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye, guys.